Hey everyone, welcome to the Checkered Chat. I'm Justin,
I'm Blake.
and we are here after the greatest track on the schedule that exists, a 2 a.m. finish at Atlanta, Echo Park, whatever the hell it is. Yeah, that was, I was a little worried with, stage one and how spread out it was getting, which even with it being spread out, it was still good.
Yeah.
But also, I was watching it in line for Tame Impala, so that was just on the TV side of things. But the funny thing about this race is, and I was just telling Blake about this before we got rolling. I was at a venue in Atlanta. I was at State Farm Arena, and it's probably a 45-minute drive to the racetrack.
Yeah,
Give or
roughly
take.
like 45, 50.
I watched almost all the way up to the red flag. And then when I left, still wasn't racing. I got all the way home and watched from the point, exactly when they started back,
Yeah.
was right when I got home. And I'm like, man, I could have probably made it all the way to the track and watched the end of that race.
Probably.
But yeah, we'll get a little bit more into our weekend.
Yeah. I'll save my thoughts on the race for when we get to Cup.
Yeah. Yeah, got to hang out with our good buddy Daniel from Zip It Up. If you don't know who Daniel is and don't know who Zip It Up or what Zip It Up is, it's another NASCAR podcast that we have collaborated with over the past year or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go check him out. Super cool dude. This will come out after the competition finishes, so I guess we could say something. So this was supposed to be put in last week's episode, but we didn't put it out because we had the date wrong, I think, or something like that.
So Allied, or not Allied, I don't know. The date got pushed back in the competition, but at the time that this will come out, we'll know for sure who the winner is. And if I do end up being the winner, you will see it before you listen to it, because I will know. We're recording this on Tuesday. I'll know on Wednesday, according to everything that I've heard. I'm one of the 2 finalists for designing Bowman's Kansas car, so that'll be fun.
Trying to pull it up and
I think right before
see where they're at.
It was at 1,700 votes, and it's 56% me, 44% the other scheme.
Yeah, I mean both of these are really cool schemes.
Contrary to if you get on Twitter and read through what everybody says, because we all know that Twitter is the most toxic younger generation of NASCAR fans when it comes to social media. Facebook is the most toxic of the older fans.
Completely true. Right now, you're sitting at 55.7, and the other one's 44.3. So
cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, super cool.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
I did. So we went through on Sunday, and we went through Bowman's autograph line, and we got a die cast and Lily's mini helmet signed.
Mm-hmm.
And she is kind of nervous like usual and just like, oh, hey, thank you. Like, have a great day. Good luck. That kind of stuff. And got a picture with him. And I put the die cast down, and he was like, how are you doing today? I was like, I'm good. And I was like, hey, I want to say thank you, because I heard you were on the panel that chose the paint schemes to be your finalist for Kansas, and I was picked to be one of the 2. And he was like, dude, hell yeah. He was like, well, I hope you win. Let's see you out in Kansas.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't even know which one, but thank you.
Just whichever one it is.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny that people in the comment sections are like, neither of these paint schemes are very Bowman or whatever. I'm like, shut up. Y'all are
everybody's mad that they're, and to an extent, valid. However, if mine didn't get picked, I wouldn't be all on Twitter as a grown man crying about it.
Literally.
But most of these people are posting the schemes they made.
Yeah, exactly. Why is
it could have been me.
Yeah.
Why not me?
Shut up. They didn't pick you.
And it's like,
too bad, so sad.
We all had the same rules and the same website to design it off of. So
yeah.
I mean, it was the most fair it could be.
Yeah, exactly.
Enough on that before I just get mad.
Yeah. Anyways, some news this week, a kind of a light news week.
Yeah.
But one thing I feel like we'll kind of hit sort of deep into. So the official NASCAR 26 soundtrack was released. Once again, another year of bangers.
Thank God for Dale Jr. being a
yes.
part of curating it.
Thank you, Papa Dale Jr. This was really funny. Ryan Priest bought a bunch of billboards for
Yes.
Chris Buescher.
Did you? Well, no, you wouldn't have gone that way up to the concert. I was going to ask if you saw any of them, but
No, I
they were
didn't.
good. I saw pictures where people had taken like pictures on the way to and from the track, and Priest's video. Those were pretty good.
Yeah.
So shout out to Echo Park Speedway and Ryan Priest for getting that one done. That was pretty good.
That was a good one. And now this is the fun one for this week. We have a
continuation.
Continuation? Was there talk about it last week?
Yeah.
I'm stupid. The continuation of the NASCAR heated rivalry, Zane Smith and Carson Hocevar.
Yeah. Because last week, at the time of recording, we had there'd be no penalties. Hocevar was pretty much intentionally wrecked by Zane Smith, and Hocevar was like, maybe his T-shirt sales were low. I don't know, who really cares, and laughed.
Yeah.
And Zane Smith went on the what's the podcast?
Racing with the Boys.
Yeah, Racing with the Boys, and was talking smack about him, literally on a podcast, talking smack about how Hocevar only talks smack behind a phone screen. So cool. He got booed on Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm really glad that I haven't talked to you about your track experience.
I tried to not give much, so then that way we could all together, enjoy it.
Unpack.
Yeah. I will say, and I don't think that this is a hot take, but I think that the ship has sailed probably for the rest of Chase Elliott's career on most popular driver. I think that he'll follow in his father's footsteps and bow out this year, and then Kyle Busch will win, which I think even if Chase doesn't bow out of respect, Kyle Busch will still win most popular driver this year.
Yeah.
As long as they put him on the ballot, which I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But after that, it's all Hocevar.
Yeah.
Hocevar,
I don't see how it's not.
I think next year Hocevar is going to have his own merch hauler, because right now he's crammed in
it's the Spire multi-team.
Yeah.
It's Spire, Hayek,
and then some, I guess, some generic NASCAR merch too. It's like a Authentics hauler with Hayek, with Spire. It won't take very long.
If it's not his own hauler, I think that Spire goes to its own hauler.
Probably.
They need to have more Hocevar stuff at the track, I think.
His autograph line, which it was all wristbands, like all the events were, which props to the teams, because pretty much all of the wristbands, to my knowledge, this weekend were free, first come, first serve, or buy one item from,
except for Daniel Suarez.
Yeah, except for Daniel Suarez.
Yeah, you had to spend $50 in
Chase
Suarez
Elliott's
merch.
Was free. It was first come, first serve on Saturday. I found that out through talking to people. I hope that was right, but that's what I heard from 5 or 6 different people. I bought an Alex Bowman sticker, and Lily bought an Alex Bowman car keychain, and we both got a wristband.
Because I know Bowman and Chase have been a die cast.
Well, Bowman might have been a diecast at one point, but I do remember Bowman being one of the cheaper Hendrick ones, because I think he even went down to 50 at some point. But Elliott and Larson for the longest were buy a 124, and that was roughly $90 or $100. Which, if that's how you want to do it, do it. People are going to complain about it, but he sold diecast and sold out of wristbands every week.
I still am in the boat of
free.
Yeah, free, first come, first serve.
Or buy something out of the hauler and
one thing.
And let the person decide what that is, because if they still want to buy the 124 to get it signed, cool. If they don't have that much money, but they really want to meet their favorite driver and they want to spend, I don't know, $10, $15 on a 164, or even buy a sticker or a keychain or an air freshener. They were there in line first thing. That's the first stop they made of the weekend to go support their driver. Why not?
Yeah. No, I agree. Because, I mean, that is one thing, like, becoming a NASCAR fan in the past few recent years that I've thought was super cool was that the drivers are very accessible.
Yeah. You'll like this. So, and this isn't like to pat myself on the back, like I did a great thing just to include it on the podcast, but I didn't, again, unpack race day with you.
Yeah.
So I bought Chastain t-shirts, and Chastain was just a buy something from the holler, get a wristband.
Yeah.
Well, Chastain's was at 330, Bowman's was at 340. I didn't have anything really already in my collection that I was dying to go get signed by Chastain. We didn't get there early enough for me to go look through the diecast tent outside to see if I could find anything Chastain. So we're standing in line for the Bowman session, and Chastain has just popped up in the holler, and there's, still the line. So I see this guy walking by, Melon Man t-shirt, Melon Man hat, and I took off and I cut him off because he was walking over to Chastain's holler. And I handed him the wristband. I said, "You look like you'd enjoy this a lot more than me. Here's a wristband if you want to go meet Chastain. I bought some stuff yesterday, and I don't want it to go to waste, and I figured you'd be a better person than me." He just looks at me and he goes, "Wait, so I can meet him with this?" And I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Just go get in line, show the guy. He'll, you can go up there and meet him." He's like, "For free?" I'm like, "Yeah, you take it." He's like, "Dude, that's amazing." And he just took off and got it on. And all of his friends were standing there, and they just looked at me and they were like,
What? You're like, "I do a podcast."
No, I didn't even I was just like, I bought shirts yesterday, and I didn't have anything that I was like dying to get signed. And
Yeah.
I saw him and I figured, and they were like, "Dude, that's awesome." They were like, "Thank you."
Yeah. That's freaking dope.
And I ran into Tyler in the Bowman autograph session line. So talked to Tyler, NASCAR Tyler a bunch this weekend, NASCAR Ryan a bunch. I never got the girl's name who got my Blaney diecast signed for me, but if this makes it out, thank you. She was in the group with NASCAR Ryan Saturday.
Yeah, I have no clue.
I was just like, "Hey, it's kind of on me. Didn't get here early enough to get a wristband. Does anybody maybe want to get the sign for me? Like, I'll buy you something if I need to."
Yeah.
And she was just like, "No, I'll take it." I was like, "Yes, sweet." So
thank God.
I have a signed Coke 600 Ryan Blaney diecast now for my collection, and then he won. So
yeah,
nice.
I'm still on the hunt to get my Suarez race win from Atlanta, my first race, signed.
Dude, I would think by next year,
hopefully,
I would think that he'll fall into the if Chase and the big dogs are going into that, I would think he would too.
Yeah.
Oh, I also gave Jared one of my the race, the little authentics you can get from Target.
Yes.
The 164s.
Yeah.
I had an Austin Hill one that I found. So I gave it to him because he came over when we were in the Bowman line, and one of the guys was like, "Austin Hill's signing autographs in the holler right now. I don't know if it's free or you need a wristband or what, but go over there and try to get it signed." He just walked over there and got it signed.
That's awesome.
So
love that.
Great vibes.
Yeah. So back to the Zane Smith and Hocevar drama.
Sorry,
no, you're good.
That went
to add to this weekend. Hocevar put a post out that said, "For the first 77 people that come to us with a different active driver T-shirt can trade it in and get a free shirt from the hauler." Bruh, that's so funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I mean, it looked like he had probably 150 people there.
Because I had to go give a paint pen back to Ryan's girlfriend. The amount of people that were just standing around outside the hauler to watch him sign autographs was insane.
Yeah. No, like you said, there's no doubt in my mind that Chase's reign of most popular driver is about to be over.
And I'm happy with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. There's a time there, he had his time with it. And now, I think Hocevar is obviously, in my opinion, he's my favorite driver, but he's the next one that
Well, I mean, he has superstar potential.
Yes, 100%. I mean,
because the big knock with Chase with everybody else is
his personality sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which he just, to me, treats it as a job and tries to be professional with his interviews and everything at track and like not really have his personality come out, which hurts him at times. But I mean, if that's how he wants to do it, that's how he does it. I respect it, but like I also see the flip side of the argument, but like Hocevar is definitely one who can help grow the sport a lot and
Yes.
get it everywhere.
Yeah. I agree 100%. But
I'm also like with the beef between the two of them. I don't really have a side because like I get where both of them are coming from and why both of them don't really like each other. And
yeah,
we don't have that many rivalries anymore, so like good. Welcome back.
let's let one start,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you ready to get into this truck race?
Yeah. So
Boring. Next. Anyways. I'm
overall, solid race. The ending was interesting. It was kind of what you would expect out of
road course truck race.
Yeah, with no like cup guys or no like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's nobody coming back down to run it. Like, I mean, you had Kligerman in there, like, but Lane Riggs led all the laps in stage one, led all the way up to almost the end of stage two. When Honeycutt took the lead, Honeycutt won stage two. So after leading the first 8 laps of the race, Riggs had at that point led 229 laps, which took the lead of the most of all drivers in the series for 2026. Then we'll just kind of hit the high points of some incidents that happened and move on. So lap 45, Majeski lost brakes going into turn 1 and got in the tire barrier, like windshield deep, destroyed the truck, day over. Lap 51 on the restart, Landon Lewis was running third. He came across the nose of Connor Mozak as they all kind of spread out, got hooked, spun on the front stretch, which caused a huge stack up that damaged Thomas Nunziata, Dawson Sutton, Andres Perez, Landon Lewis, Christian Eckes, Ben Rhodes, and honestly a lot more than that, but those were like the most notable with damage. At that point, that's when Honeycutt was declared the leader at the time of caution, which ultimately allowed him to win stage 2 because he could choose for the last restart of the stage. Lap 65, Chris Wright spins off turn 4 from 19th, makes contact with the guardrail, but was able to continue. And then Cole Butcher slowed off of turn 4 and started to plummet through the field, which allowed Stuart Friesen and Gio Ruggiero to get first and second. Caution was then thrown for debris cleanup from Chris Wright's accident, and then it was red flagged on lap 72. Wasn't really that long of a red flag, I don't think. I had it recorded. I literally watched it this morning and fast forwarded through it. Lap 79, Chandler Smith stalls near turn 4, bringing out the caution. And then somehow, randomly, I'm not really 100% sure how this happened, but I mean, they're just riding around caution speed. Pan over to pit road entrance, and here's Thomas Annunziata's car.
Just up in flames.
Fireball.
From what I heard, he had to be like,
he went to the hospital.
Yeah, he had to be helicoptered out. Yeah,
I was like skipping everything but racing.
They didn't show it in the highlights, but they talked about it on Door Bumper because I
guess from the smoke inhalation.
Yeah, I'm actually able to listen to podcast again at work now, nice. So I have gotten back on my podcast game.
Yeah,
listening to podcast, doing a podcast, always been there. Don't worry. That was stupid, but
I was just gonna take it away, Penny.
Take it away, Penny.
See how long you went with that.
Continue.
Okay, lap 89, Tanner Gray dive bombs Colin Braun and spins him off turn 6, which Colin Braun started from the rear, and at that point I think he was running like 4th or 5th, and then he still made it up by the end to have a halfway decent finish. Lap 91, Corey LaJoie slows in turns 1 and 2 and begins to leak fluid, and then you just see Wesley Slimp and Dawson Sutton go whee right off the track behind him.
The name Slimp being on the back of that truck when he slides in, it was, I don't know why. Yeah, it just like, it caught me off guard, and I was like, this is hilarious. And I looked at Mal, I go, there's a guy running in this truck race named Slimp. And I'm like, she's like, what?
It's just like one of those last names, like I never heard it.
Mm-hmm.
And then lap 98, this one sucked as someone who's got into watching IndyCar this year. Louis Foster, an IndyCar driver, At this point, he was running really good. I mean, he had been top 15 most of the day. He kind of sniffed top 10 towards the end.
Yeah.
I just put he spun in turn 3, but was able to continue. I could not really tell with the broadcast if he got spun or what. I think he got spun. I don't know, but I'm not going to, assume or put blame. He
Yeah.
spun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lap 99, Gio Ruggiero, when this is like 2 to go or white flag lap, whatever. Gio ran Honeycutt off the track in turn 2. Mind you, they're teammates.
Yeah.
So then when Honeycutt came back on track, he just hooked him and spun him off turn 3. Which, Val, I would love to be a fly on the wall for how they talk to Honeycutt in some of the like the team meetings, especially after Heim wins and like kind of quote unquote does him dirty, like the way that Honeycutt reacts to it, and then Honeycutt going out there and dumping his teammate.
Yeah.
But like also, I mean, I'm sure they understand like his teammate did just run him off the tracks. Like,
yeah. I mean,
but Grant Enfinger won, which I would like to say, even though I recorded it, obviously I still got the full length of the broadcast. Dude, he won. They did his interview, and then they said, all right, everybody, that's all from Lime Rock. Have a great day, and just went straight to baseball. And I was like,
okay.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. But he said in his post-race interview that he'd had some pretty good road course trucks this year. I don't think even he probably thought he was going to win this one. I think he probably had a top 5 truck, but there were some different strategies being played and whatnot that put like Riggs and Honeycutt a little deeper in the field at a certain point, and then it kind of just it was the end. Like, it was such a good clean race all the way until like the last 15% of the race, and then it was just like dive bomb, wreck, spin. But it's a road course, so there wasn't as many cautions. But yeah, Landon Lewis did end up finishing second, Honeycutt in third, Kligerman in fourth, Christian Eckes in fifth, who I didn't know he injured himself at the Naval Base Coronado, like after the race, like leaving, like walking out. He like rolled his ankle and has been in like a walking boot. So impressive.
Yeah.
Something about NASCAR drivers getting hurt and then going out and having a good run on a road course.
Yeah. Happens.
Interesting.
If I had a nickel for every time.
I think we'd have like 3 right now. Yeah. Not a lot, but
it's weird that it happened that many times.
Yeah. Daniel Hemrick in 6th, Andres Perez in 7th, Tanner Gray in 8th, Stuart Friesen in 9th, and then Colin Braun in 10th. Now we'll get to the O'Reilly's race and the stuff where we were we were both there for O'Reilly's.
Yes, we were. It wasn't decided that I was going to be there till like literally like
Thursday.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
That's at least when I found out.
Yeah, no, so this was a really good race.
It kind of mirrored the Cup race where at first we were like,
what is
going on?
Where are the leaders? Because like there were so many points that I lost where they were.
Yeah.
Like 100%. We saw a lot of like dealing with lap traffic, which was wild.
Which so to me, this is every time we go back is the most worn out that these drivers will have seen Atlanta, because they did this on purpose when they repaved it, and they paved it in a way where it will wear out faster. So there will be a lot more track change every time they come. Yeah. Which, good on them. I like that. And because let's say it didn't work at first. As the track wore, the racing was going to get better.
That's true.
So now it was so good at first that now that it's wearing, and they really don't have practice. They just show up and run one qualifying lap. So
this actually, they brought this up on some podcast I listened to. Do you think that Atlanta is at the point where it needs a practice?
Yes.
I agree.
I think, and this is going to sound like taking it from 0 to 10, but like if they don't get a practice, they need to repave it.
Yeah.
Because like still bring the super speedway package. Don't just turn this back into a mile and a half. You could.
Yeah.
Bring the super speedway package, but they need some sort of practice, even if all it is like 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Because they're making their decision of, do I want to qualify good or do I want to start in the back, which I'm fine with. I have no issue with. I like that because it's going to mix everybody up and put different different players in different parts of the field. You'll have lower budgeted teams, drivers that don't run up front that much up front more often.
Yeah.
But it severely impacts until the first caution and at least until stage 1 is over, because everybody's kind of either going for it or tiptoeing around.
Yeah, 100%. So this race, we're not going to do like lap by lap breakdown. We're going to talk. I'll hit you with your stage winners, and then I think we're kind of just going to jump to the end to an extent, because this was I have a very interesting fact that was brought up about this specific race.
Yeah, and I won't jump on that one, but I will say this is the most single car accidents I have ever seen in one race, and I was not jealous to be the one on the caution button.
Yeah.
Because I did personally feel like with a lot of those that they were called way too early. But again,
especially towards the end.
Yeah. And like some of them, okay, we don't know if the car is going to come back up the track or where he's going to go or what's going to happen. So for safety, like I get it. But it felt like, and I don't have a number, but it felt like 9 to 11 cautions or single car spins.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the exact. I know there were 9 cautions overall in this race.
Okay, so then it had to have been like 8 were single car spins, because I think there was one that involved multiple.
Yeah, I can tell you here in just a second. So stage 1, we had a caution for potential fluid on the track. Lap 21, Lewin Honeyman spins from 19th in turn 4. But is able to make it to pit road, even though they threw the caution there, too.
Yeah, they, like, let him spin, get to the apron, drive around, and then they're like, caution. Which was, to me, what was weird is I felt like we started the race on, like, waiting it out, and then as we got closer to the end, it was like, smoke.
Yeah.
Car.
Exactly. Let's see here. Stage 1 went to none other than Mr. Carson Quapfel. Let's see here. Another caution.
Carson Quapfel looked for most of the race like he had the best car.
Lap 101, another possible fluid on the track because Harrison Burton displayed heavy smoke in turns 3 and 4.
He blew his engine.
Yeah. So this was something funny, was I was going through the like timeline and stuff, and it was like Harrison Burton leads the restart at one point, and I was like, I don't even remember him being up there, because apparently he stayed out.
Yeah.
And I just 100% do not remember that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't drink that much.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he led on like one restart and didn't really stay all the way up front.
So let's see here. Justin Allgaier wins stage 2 after it getting kind of strung out, and this is where I was like, where are the leaders? Like I lost, like this end of stage 2, like I was losing them. So, and this is where it kind of just goes to not, I don't want to say a shit show, but it kind of did to an extent, just with how many red flags there were. We had a total of 4 red flags.
All in the last stage.
So this was the most red flags ever displayed in a NASCAR race, including races that were red flagged because of weather.
That's ridiculous.
It's insane. I mean, insane.
It was like, so shout out to John the Motorsports Enthusiast on this, because I was watching his Instagram stories like on the way back home and once I got home. And he basically was like, this feels like an endurance race at this point. Like the 12 hours of Atlanta.
Yeah.
And like everybody, like all the other influencers I was watching videos of, they were like, oh, I'm so happy to be back in my car and to be going home. That race, I thought it was never going to end.
No, 100%. I texted my dad about halfway through and it was like, are you watching the O'Reilly's race? Because he'll sometimes watch O'Reilly's. A lot of times, majority, he'll watch the highlights or something. And he's like, yes, is this race ever going to end? And I'm like, yeah, that's how it felt there. But, yeah, I mean, we have Lap 112, Brandon Jones gets sideways, causes a stack up with Taylor Gray. He hits the turn 4 wall head on and then gets hit by Corey Day. That brings out a red flag. Then we have Jeremy Clemens does a half spin in turn 2 from near 15th after contact with Anthony Alfredo. Another red flag.
Another one.
Let's see here. I'm trying to find the rest of them. Why can't I not find them?
What, the red flags?
Yeah.
So
Hold on a second, because I wrote them. They're in there. I just am not seeing them very quickly.
Jake Finch was one who had 2 cautions on his own.
Yeah.
Which I kind of hated it for him because he's one of the guys that's like trying to break through and get opportunities. And
Yeah.
he was in the 9 car.
Oh, okay. Lap 160. Austin Hill makes it 3 wide for the lead on the front stretch, and they continue to battle before Austin Hill gets loose in turn 3 and eventually spins, triggering a multi-car accident. And all the cars collected were Ryan Ellis, Justin Allgaier, Sammy Smith, Austin Hill, Kyle Sieg, Patrick Starpoli, Rajah Caruth, and then Carson Quaffle is declared the leader ahead of Nick Sanchez.
Which, Patrick Starpoli, there was one point, and I don't remember what lap it was, he had a single car spin by himself coming off of 4.
Yep.
He kind of saved it, lost it again on the apron, spun into the grass. Rather than doing the normal, obvious to me thing to do as a race car driver, you're already right there next to pit road. They haven't thrown the caution. Dip down pit road, and if you're not going to stop, just roll back out. He just turned right and came right back up on the track with no speed. So
Yeah.
he like that was some of the single car spins you're not going to get away with no caution.
Yeah.
But that was one you could have, and it's just why.
Yeah.
Anyway,
100%. So the first overtime restart, Carson Quaffle leads from the outside and Nick Sanchez on the inside. At the restart, Jeremy Clemens, who's in third, gets turned by Justin Allgaier, spins and crashes into LeVar Scott, and there's the caution there. So then we have a second overtime restart. Carson Quaffle leads from the outside, Nick Sanchez on the inside. Ryan Sieg runs out of gas at the line from fourth and just...
Luckily, he was on the outside.
Yes, thank God. Otherwise, we'd be talking about 3, probably 4 overtime restarts. The outside line fades, allowing Nick Sanchez and Brennan Poole to clear for the lead. Brennan Poole looks inside Nick Sanchez and passes for the lead in turn 3. And Allgaier gets inside Nick Sanchez for second in turn 3. Lap 172, the last lap of the race, Carson Quaffle running fourth bumps Nick Sanchez, who gets loose inside Brennan Poole, causing both to hit the outside wall in turns 1 and 2, battling for the lead. Allgaier is able to clear both and leads the field around, holding off Quaffle and Retzloff to take the victory by 0.139 seconds. Allgaier had something going on.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. He was dragging something. I don't know what it was. I don't know if anything you listened to, because I never really saw anything talking about it.
It was never really said what it was, but they were just like, glad that didn't cause any issues. But
it was shooting sparks all
over. There was a
everybody.
TikTok where somebody edited like the TIE fighter shooting noise. It's like, pew, 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 and he's shooting off Quaffle in the back.
I do genuinely think, though, like, Sanchez's incident on the last lap, I mean, obviously that helped Allgaier win.
Yeah.
But I think, like, it probably was going to end up being, the way it looked, a 1v1 of Poole and Allgaier.
Yeah.
And Allgaier had the help of teammates and a really fast car despite dragging whatever he was dragging.
Yeah.
Like,
that was the thing. When I started seeing the sparks and stuff coming off him, I was like, he's not winning this. Like, I was like, something's going to happen, you know. But
I thought he had a shot for a little bit of the race, like, a little bit, like, towards the end of the race.
Mm-hmm.
But I genuinely, I didn't, it felt like Chase winning last year, where it was like, oh, okay, cool, awesome, happy. But, like,
yeah.
Well, no, you saw Chase's coming a lot more than that. But this one, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. So your top 10 was Allgaier winning, Carson Quaffle, Parker Retzloff, William Sawalich, Anthony Alfredo, Garrett Smithly, Brandon Jones, Kyle Sieg, Rajah Caruth, and Jeremy Clements.
And then if you factor in, there's Mason Maggio in 11th, and then his name got cut off. I don't remember who was driving the 07.
I
But
can look.
yeah, look real quick so I can give a name shout out on that also. But
Josh Bilicki.
Josh Bilicki.
And also Patrick Starpoli finished 13th.
Whatever.
I mean, I know you don't care, but like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
yeah.
name you don't see very often.
Yeah.
Up
But
in
like big
there.
day for small teams.
Yeah, 100%.
And I would like to take this moment and this opportunity to pat myself on the back and say that I do in fact know wheel, because before this race started, I was like, man, watch out for the Viking Motorsports cars because they've been running so good lately, and this feels like a track that'd be really good for them in a double top 5.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like Viking, I think is kind of slept on, in my opinion.
They're like the biggest overperformers
Yeah.
probably in the entirety of the top 3 series.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So close to Quapfel having his first win, Retzloff's first win. But ultimately, I mean, I was wearing an all-Geier shirt. I that's who I wanted to win.
Yeah,
I haven't got to see him win since before they reconfigured Atlanta, because he was good at the old Atlanta.
Yeah. You ready to move on to Cup?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. So, to the shock of no one, Penske dominated qualifying. However, Josh Berry was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I think they've given up on Josh Berry, to be so real with you.
That's all I can think of, because like, why did he not have the similar setup?
I just want to know, like, I just cannot think other than, I will say, well, I was about to say, I don't know where he's going to end up. I think he's going to end up in 4. I think that Gragson's out there.
I think Gragson's out, and I think it's a coin flip whether he goes back to O'Reilly's or he ends up in the 4. Because there's nowhere for Lane to go in the O'Reilly series.
Yeah, that is true.
But also, now on that topic too, I don't know where Gragson goes, because I want to believe but it's not sounding good. It's sounding like we're just going to throw Austin Hill in it and see what happens.
Just
dumb.
Yeah.
Like, you fumble keeping the better of the two prospect-wise and longevity and talent. And I mean, really every measurable category you have other than like race wins, like for somebody that you'd like to build a program around, you let walk out the door.
Yeah. 100%.
They have fumbled Tyler Reddick and Jesse Love within the next gen era.
Yeah. The RCR fall off is real.
Yeah. Yeah. So, leading the field to green was Blaney and Logano. Blaney got the lead. Blaney kept the lead. The only incident in stage 1, which there was no caution for, was lap 2. Brad Keselowski got into the wall off turn 4 from 7th and plummeted through the field. Your biggest mover in stage 1, Tyler Reddick, started 31st and had made it all the way up to 6th by lap 31, which was no shock, because I think everybody knew that the Toyota's built in handling a lot more than raw single car speed. So they were going to show up better when it came race time. Which I do like that juxtaposition of like how they set the cars up and how the speed is going to go. But I mean, it is the next gen car at the end of the day. Clean air was king.
Yeah.
At least for a little bit, because we'll get into later in the race. I mean, you couldn't keep up with who was leading and how long they were leading and who was where. But Brad Keselowski was like the most notable getting in the wall. But I looked over at Lily at one point, and Daniel too. And it was stage 2, and it was either right before or right after the rain. But I was like, look at the cars when they come by under caution. And I was like, 75% of this field has been up into the wall at some point.
Yeah.
Like, this feels old school Daytona, old school Talladega, like big runs, old school drafting track.
Yeah, I mean, they were straight up ripping the fence.
Yeah, which was amazing. And which I did look at Daniel at one point and say, well, Larson does look pretty good. This handling in with super speedway might really do well for him. But I said also, with how aggressive he is, he's either going to wreck or he's going to win. Like, there's no in between.
Yeah.
And I saw a bunch of people on social media that was like, classic Larson couldn't just take the points. And we'll get into what they meant by that a little farther down. But Blaney was able to win stage 1, followed by Tyler Reddick, Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, and Austin Cindric rounding out the top 5. So then to start stage 2, Reddick and Larson led the field to green, with Reddick getting the lead. And then by 73, Blaney was back in the lead. Lap 77, Larson got the lead again. And then lap 83, Hocevar gets the lead. So that was the first where we really saw like it get super competitive up front and them actually be able to trade the lead. Lap 95, Larson lifts getting off turn 4 and falls back to 10th. And then Blaney is able to get back around Hocevar. Words are hard. My voice is gone.
Yeah.
This is the first.
It's a lot better than it was on Saturday, because the end of Saturday, you were like...
Oh, it's a lot better than it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Which, luckily, I had nothing to do. I didn't really talk yesterday. So
yeah. Put you on vocal rest.
Yeah. Lap 108, there was caution for the lightning in the area. And then, of course, because of the lightning hold that lasted 30 minutes, here came the rain and a 3-hour-long red flag, in which I consumed few hot dogs, and then we got 3 funnel cakes between me, Lily, my dad.
5 of y'all.
Yeah, and then Daniel and his wife.
Nah, Blake just sat there and ate 3 funnel cakes on his own.
They were so good, I could have.
Yeah, they looked really good.
We got a loaded Oreo funnel cake that had like I mean, obviously crushed up Oreos, powdered sugar, and then it had like chocolate drizzle on it, like chocolate syrup. Your OG, just your regular funnel cake. And then we got a Fruity Pebbles one that had whipped cream on it, Fruity Pebbles all over it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. 10 out of 10. Do not remember the name of the food truck.
It was probably a funnel cake, the only funnel cake truck that was there.
It was a red funnel cake food truck outside of section 157, but 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay, real quick, while we're talking about food there, pull up the name of the
do you want to say it or do you want me to say it? Because I'm going to butcher it.
I mean, I'll say it. I just can't remember what it was exactly called.
We have brought this up multiple times.
Yes. So, okay, there are 2 quesadilla trucks in the fan zone. I went to the wrong one at first, and then I bought a second quesadilla because I was so mad. Trace Jardines, I think is what it's called. That is what it was called. That is, what the hell is my picture on your phone? This is, oh my God, Jesus Christ. I just looked over and it's a 0.5 photo of me on a fly machine. Like,
you remember that?
Yes,
now?
I do.
That one got clipped for sure to be here.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so if you're in the fan zone, Trace
Hopefully
Jardines,
they're back next year.
Yes, that is like I'm so not joking, the best quesadilla I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Like,
I almost got it again on Sunday.
I would have. If I was there, 100% would have. Anyways, back to the race.
Okay, so when we come back from the red flag, Blaney and Wallace led the field to green with Blaney getting the lead. This was lap 124. Laps 128 and 129, Blaney and Wallace trade the lead before Blaney gets control again on lap 133. Then by lap 136, Suarez has climbed from 20th back up to 5th. Lap 154, Hocevar gets loose off turn 4, falls back to 9th. Before on lap 157, he slows from 11th with a reported flat tire. Hocevar was front to back to front to back so many times in that race.
Have you been, I mean, this is a little bit later on, but have you seen all the stuff from his radio? Because I know I saw it in real time. That was the funniest thing.
It was like almost the last restart of the race. Like,
well, he comes over the radio.
You're talking about when he started singing?
Yes. He's like, I've got this song stuck in my head, and he's singing it, and then Dale Jr. just goes, "That's Hocevar."
Yeah.
Like, it caught me off guard because I'm laying in bed watching this on my phone with AirPods in, and I'm dying laughing, and Mal's like, "What are you laughing at?" And
you're like, Hocevar is singing "I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight."
Yes.
While driving the car around under yellow. Yeah. I mean, if that doesn't tell you how cool under pressure he is, because he had made it back up to the front by that point, and that was before one of the final restarts of the race.
So you'll find this funny. What's the Tommy Baldwin
Yes.
on Door Bumper. He went to the Spire guys and was like, "What are y'all doing?" He's like, "You're letting off the gas on the front stretch and the back stretch. Like, what is your plan?" And they're like, "Oh, we've been going back and forth on what lap to like really turn it on." And we were basing it off of either Jimmy Johnson or Richard Petty. So they ended up giving him the code word Jimmy Johnson. And it's funny thinking about the race was like lap with 48 to go.
That's when he turned it
he
on.
starts just weaving through the field like he's Lightning McQueen.
That makes so much sense because in real time watching it, Daniel had asked me, he goes, "Okay, do you think Hocevar even has anything for him today? Because he's like just chilling in the 20s. I was like, oh, 100%. He'll be up there with a chance to win before it's all said and done.
Yeah. And it's so funny hearing that and then watching the race, you're like, oh, that 100% is what happened.
Yeah. Well, because, and I genuinely did feel like that if you didn't have the track position, because there had not been a big wreck.
Yeah.
To roughly that point of the race, which I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. We'll catch up in a second. But I think if you didn't have the track position, you were trying to just hang out and wait for the wreck to happen to give you track position, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like rather than to drive yourself up in there and cause the wreck, let the wreck happen with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So Blaney wins stage 2, followed by Reddick, Logano, Cindric, and Suarez. And then coming to the line, I'd love to get your input on this before I speak my truth on it. But Bubba gets spun by Ty Gibbs off of turn 4. And that's how I will leave it.
I would say while Toyota has had an absolutely dominant season this year, historically, they don't work well together.
No, especially drafting tracks.
Yes. I mean, I can think of Talladega a few years ago when they all came to pit.
Yeah.
And then they came back out and then wrecked each other.
Yep. Bubba was in that.
Yeah. That was kind of my takeaway of that.
So pretty much the same takeaway I had, except for, and I'm just gonna kind of jump around at this point because that feels like the vibe that we're going with.
That works.
Bubba like confronted Ty Gibbs after the race on pit road. Bubba threw a block on Ty Gibbs coming off of turn 4. Did he have the right to do it? Yes. Was it a close block? Yes. You're coming to the end of a stage. Why are you going to throw a block on, especially, Ty Gibbs?
Yeah.
He is not lifting. He does not care that you were both Toyotas.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you got spun, but like, we're coming to the end of the stage.
Yeah.
Surrender one spot.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of did that. And then to have what happened later in the race happen and you still go confront somebody after you decided to race other people dumb. I mean, at what point do you look in the mirror?
Yeah.
Like,
I get what you're saying.
And that's why, like, I've been talking about, like, oh, Bubba's grown on me, like, the maturity. This right here is the stuff that just, like, where it just irks me with him because I'm like, I get that you're frustrated, but please take a look in the mirror because you also are part of this issue.
Yeah.
It feels like at times that, like, I don't know, like, nothing is his fault. And, like, he is so wronged. You know what I'm saying?
I totally see what you're saying.
So then stage 3, Gibbs and Cindric led the field to green. This was a little bit of strategy. Gibbs was able to clear for the lead. And then lap 194, Allmendinger spins from 28th after contact with McDowell. The next restart, Bell and Larson lead the field to the green with Larson getting the lead because Blaney gave him a big push. Now, from lap 202 to 217, this is when I feel like everybody was just really going for the lead because you had Blaney lead at 202, Bell at 203, Elliott at 208, Blaney again at 210, Elliott again at 214, Reddick at 216, and then Blaney got it back at 217. And then at this stage of the race, Blaney had led 157 laps tonight, so that was the most during a drafting track race since A.J. Foyt led 167 laps in the 1972 Daytona 500, which he ended up leading more than.
Yeah.
I saw some people on that be like, we should do this stat off of miles versus laps because Daytona is 2.5 miles, Atlanta's a mile and a
Yeah.
half. Either way you slice it, it's impressive.
Yeah. I mean,
I get what they're
regardless.
saying, but
Yeah.
like, let's not take away from Blaney. Like, that is arguably the most dominant I've ever seen anybody in this next gen car at a drafting track race.
Yeah. 100%.
Lap 232, Allmendinger gets into the wall off turn 4, and at right about the same time, here's the Bubba incident. He put Blaney in the wall.
Yeah.
Going for the lead. Like, tried to do a slide job or slide up or whatever and just drove him straight up into the wall. Another, if I had a nickel for every time that Blaney was put into the wall by Bubba Wallace late in a race, I would have a few nickels, you know?
Yeah. Wouldn't be rich, but you have a few.
Yeah. But it's like, y'all, like, and I know that once you put the helmet on, you're not worried about, like, who your friend is and how
Yeah.
you race them. But
The broadcast booth sure is. Good Lord.
But at the end of the day, you do race certain people differently than you race other people.
Yeah.
And you would have thought the way that he raced Blaney there, that Blaney, like, always gives him the biggest fits on the track.
Yeah.
Like, they're always getting into it. Because, I mean, that was just uncalled for.
Yeah.
Wallace and Blaney lead the field to green on the next one. Blaney gets away with the lead, but it starts reporting that he has a vibration.
Yeah.
Because he got put in the wall.
Yeah, I think what they kind of chalked it up to was
Like,
paint from the wall getting in between, like, the tire and the wheel.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Because I've never heard that before. But, I mean, I could see it happening.
And then lap 242 is our first, like, wreck of the day, really. Like, that,
Yeah.
I mean, more than, like, a 1 or 2 car. Reddick, Gibbs, and Hamlin all check up getting off of 4 because that seemed to be the spot where everybody was kissing the wall. Everybody was getting loose off of 4.
Mhm.
In that checkup, Larson was not able to check up as quickly and spun himself trying to avoid it. Ultimately did avoid it, spun through the grass. I will say, when I saw him going for the grass, I said, this is day done. The car's probably going to get a little bit of air and it's going to destroy this car because it just rained so much.
Yeah.
Whatever they do with the grass there, other tracks need to do because that car didn't get destroyed at all. That car was fine. That car drove back up to the front again.
Yeah.
Lap 247, Blaney and now Hocevar lead the field to green. They continue to battle and trade the lead until lap 254 when Blaney clears Hocevar, and then Bell and Wallace battle Hocevar 3 wide for second at that point. Lap 253, Hocevar makes it 3 wide for the lead and clears in turn 1. Then on the backstretch, Larson gets turned by Hamlin near 11th, triggers a multi-car incident that takes out Briscoe, Hill, Herbst, and Bowman. Lap 262 on the overtime restart. Hocevar leads from the outside, Blaney on the inside. Hocevar gets a good push and initially edges ahead of Blaney before he's able to fight back and clear in turn 2. Hocevar gets a huge push and gets back by in turn 3. Then lap 263, final lap of the race, Blaney gets a great run in 1, initially clears for the lead. Hocevar fights back, and then Bubba goes to take it 3 wide, drives under the yellow line on the backstretch, trying to get the lead in turn 3. Zane Smith spins on the backstretch from 15th. Hocevar and Wallace fade off turn 4, allowing Blaney to win, and then Wallace was penalized for going below the yellow line and was moved to the 29th finishing position. So a lot of stuff to unpack there. Number 1, I like Hocevar. I like Hocevar's attitude about other drivers and how he races. If he wants to win super speedway races, he's going to have to kind of figure something out.
Yeah.
Because, like, in his post-race interview, he said something along the lines of, like, well, the people behind us just get to decide who wins and nobody's going to decide me. Not saying it like, oh, poor, pitiful me.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, ultimately, that's what happens. And Bell had the opportunity to decide who am I going to push. And it wasn't going to be Bubba because he was about to wreck. And then
Bell
came back up.
The only thing is I will say is that Bell pushing Blaney gave him the best line because the top line was definitely the preferred line all day long.
Yeah, and it made sense because is Bell really going to go push Hocevar?
That's another good point,
But
too.
that's the thing is, like, unless you have a teammate behind you, you're probably not getting pushed.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be something interesting to keep track of kind of mentally with his career is like how many opportunities will he end up having at Atlanta, Talladega, Daytona and not win because nobody will go with him?
Yeah.
Because this is the second or third Atlanta race that he's finished top 5 and legitimately had a shot to win,
Yeah.
but didn't for a various number of reasons. 2, kind of staying on the Hocevar front. How funny is it that one of the drivers in the beef was battling for the win and the other one's just spinning out on the backstretch on the last
That brings
lap?
us to our bozo of the week, Zane Smith, I think,
Okay.
because
I was going to give it to Bubba.
Okay, valid take there, but also I don't think Bubba intentionally drove it down there like that.
Well, I'm just talking on the walling Blaney.
Okay.
And then
okay.
while I don't think it was 110% intentional, that backstretch isn't that wide, and he flung that thing down there.
Well, because he didn't have any control of the car.
I mean, yeah, but then to me also afterwards being like, well, I don't know why I got DQ'd. Like, I don't know. It was just the whole thing around it of like.
The only thing also is that rule I feel like has a little bit of a gray area because it says to not advance your position.
Right.
Does that mean advance your finishing position or advance your position on a car?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's fair.
So, I mean,
we'll give it to Zane. I'm cool with that. Honorable mentions Bubba.
Yeah,
but
Zane, it's just the fact of you start a beef pretty much with like we said, arguably the guy who's going to be the next most popular driver after Chase Elliott. And you make it a very public beef and very like
because Hocevar is kind of just like, whatever, dismissing
but like,
it.
and Zane Smith is like, I don't like Carson Hocevar as a person. Like,
yeah. And then when Zane Smith was going a lap down early,
he
didn't beat the cars off pit road, Hocevar made it a point to drive down to the yellow line and just start revving
his engine. Yeah, like it's just like.
And I think Bubba with Ty Gibbs after the race too, like just was part of the fuel on that.
Yeah.
I'm good with Zane.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and I mean I get the thing with like the advancing your position and how it's a gray area. But, like, did he have to do that? He wasn't forced down below the line.
Yeah, I mean, bottom line, you took your steering wheel that way. The car doesn't just drive itself there.
Because to me, now, I understand you would have had to push Hocevar and you were not going to do that. But you could have just sent Hocevar off into the corner and gave him a huge shove and tried your luck at the run on the bottom.
That is true.
You could have shot it 3 wide middle. Hocevar did that to you last time we were here.
Yeah.
Like, you already put Blaney in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I'm not saying that the route that he took was the most wrong, but, like, there were other routes to go.
Yeah.
Where no matter what, there was going to be something wrong with it.
Yeah.
You know? But, like, there were other routes to go there. But, I mean, ultimately, Blaney winning just made the most sense.
Yeah, no, I mean,
so
dominant all day long. I said last week that if there was an Atlanta race that I didn't go to, that Blaney or Hocevar would win. And
I didn't shave my beard off. Maybe if I would have shaved my beard off, Hocevar would have won.
Yeah,
again.
I told you to do it. You didn't do it.
Yeah.
Your top 10, Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, Carson Hocevar, Ty Gibbs, Eric Jones, SVG, Austin Dillon, Tyler Reddick, Joey Logano, Chris Buescher. SVG's first oval win will be on a 1.5 miles.
It'll be Atlanta or Charlotte.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm here for it.
He looked good all day.
Yeah.
He was able to make moves. He looked very comfortable. It was funny. I watched like a short clip of him talking with somebody after the race around his hauler, and he's like, I for whatever reason, I don't know why, but apparently I'm somewhat good at this kind of racing because
Yeah.
this is like arguably one of my best tracks now.
Yeah. I mean, Atlanta and Charlotte,
Yeah.
100%. Anything else on the Atlanta weekend? Or are we ready to move on to
Let me double check.
North Wilkesboro?
Let me double check and make sure that there wasn't anything else. So one thing. Actually, there's probably two. Blaney is now 65 points back from first in the points.
Mm-hmm.
And we're coming up to
6 races to go.
Yeah, 6 races to go, but there are 3 of these 6 races that are like arguably his best tracks, like his best style of races.
Mm-hmm.
You have, I think he'll be good at North Wilkesboro, but I don't know if I would necessarily chalk that one straight up to like this is
his race.
Blaney.
Yeah.
We have Iowa, Richmond, and New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And then to follow it up, Daytona.
Yeah.
There is a world in which I think that Blaney could finish the regular season with 5 wins.
Yeah. I mean, seriously.
I do. I genuinely have a feeling, though, that, like, me included in this, everyone got so wrapped up in the Hamlin-Reddick back and forth.
They didn't even watch
that we
Blaney.
weren't paying attention to Blaney in third, and I think he's about to surprise everybody and, Ford win the regular season.
I mean, because he is the only Ford driver with a win.
He has, let me see if I saved it or I took a screenshot of it. So, with Blaney winning at Echo Park, Atlanta Motor Speedway, leading 171 laps, that's the second most laps led on a drafting track in Cup Series history. He almost got it. But Blaney has now won the last 6 races for Ford in the Cup Series dating back to Nashville in June 2025.
Good God.
So in a year, Ford has 5 wins in the Cup Series, and they've all been Ryan Blaney.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's not the definition of like putting not only the entire team on your back,
you're putting the entire manufacturer on your back.
So when we look at the top 16 in points, would you like to take a wild guess on how many Fords are in it and what Fords are in it right now?
Chris Buescher.
Yes.
Blaney.
Yes.
I think that might be it.
There's one more. So there's 3.
Is it Preece?
Cindric.
Yeah, you're right. Cindric had a really good day at Atlanta, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Blaney, third in points, 2 wins, 4 top 5s, 15 top 10s, most top 10s of anybody in the whole series.
Mm-hmm.
Buescher's got 2 top 5s, 10 top 10s, and then Cindric all the way down at 14th, 1 top 5, 4 top 10s. But like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think it's funny. I saw somebody say this on, I don't remember if it was Twitter or Instagram, but, the leading thing was like, oh, Daniel Suarez is the problem at Trackhouse. And a lot of people were like hinting at the fact that like even Ross Chastain was like trying to throw blame that like maybe Suarez isn't helping or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Suarez is 11th in points.
Yeah.
At Spire.
Mm-hmm.
How many Trackhouse cars are in the playoffs?
1. It's SVG.
I'm sorry, not the playoffs. The chase.
Yeah, SVG. Yeah. That's it.
Ross Chastain is 20th in points.
Mm-hmm.
Connor Silage is 34th in
points. Yep. We don't need to bring that one up. There's always next year, buddy.
Yeah. But yeah, and I mean the battle for the cut line is shaping up to be good because there's like 8 points between Eric Jones and Joey Logano for the last. But then you also have Preece. So 17 through 20 is Logano, Preece, Keselowski, and Chastain. But then, I mean, honestly, even then, McDowell was only 2 points behind Chastain, and Allmendinger's only 5 points behind Chastain.
Yeah.
So like 17 through 22 could all end up getting flipped. SVG's performance at ovals is going to be really put under a microscope, and it's going to have to be good for him to stay in.
Yeah.
Eric Jones, I think, is going to climb. I think Cindric is going to fall out. And Bubba's all the way down to 13th now.
Yeah.
Like,
where's Byron at?
12th.
Because
Dude,
Byron had a dog shit day.
that is the maddest I've ever heard Byron on a radio. That is the maddest I've heard Rudy on the radio. I mean, to be a fly on the wall in that team meeting on Monday, because he essentially was like complaining. And then Rudy was like, shut up. Like, I hear you. I understand. We're starting to make changes in the right direction. Would you like to just take it to the garage, or would you like to try to finish the race? Okay.
Yeah.
Valid. Completely valid.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, yeah, you want to take it to the garage? We're 12th in points. We haven't had a good year.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing is, I feel like even in 12th, I mean, Byron is up, I don't know, 65 points. That's not safe.
No, not
at all.
Mm-mm.
But that should be all from me at Atlanta, unless you would like to add anything else.
Great weekend. I'm glad I got to go to at least one race, and I'll leave it at that. I'll make up that one cup race by the end of the season. We'll make it happen. But past next gen winners.
Yeah. So all of these are when they had the All-Star race.
Yep.
So they did win here in the next gen car.
But it was the All-Star race.
Yeah, a little different format. Larson in 2023, Logano when I was there in 2024, because
why wouldn't Logano win a race that you were at?
And then Bell in 2025.
We have, you changed one of yours. Wow.
Yeah.
Surprising. Okay. Truck, who you got?
So I went with Corey Heim.
Okay.
I didn't originally, because Hocevar and Heim are in this race, and I genuinely think Hocevar might end up taking out Heim.
I could see that too. You know what? I didn't realize that he's in this race. I'm changing mine. My pick's Hocevar. We're gonna go.
We both ended up with Riggs.
Yeah, we were both originally had Lane Riggs, but I don't know. I think if one of these two will win, if they don't end up wrecking each other.
Yeah.
That's 100% what I think will happen.
I do have faith in Riggs to get it done.
Yeah.
Other people I would say to watch out for, Mini Tyrell.
Yeah.
And Butterbean.
Yeah.
And Landon Huffman will be in it too.
Okay.
The equipment, I feel like, might be holding them back a little bit, because I feel like they all have experience at Wilkesboro. Yes, it's in late models, but like they know how to get around the track.
Yeah.
So, but that'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah. And then Cup,
I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it too. We both went with Ryan Blaney. I think he goes back to back. Yeah, I just have a feeling. And he's also
I thought about
wheelhouse.
Larson for a minute, but like I don't have faith in him.
Yeah. I mean, really right now, as weird as it sounds, the only Hendrick cars that I have faith in.
The only Hendrick car I have faith in
it's
is Chase Elliott.
That's it. Yeah. I mean,
because at the end of the day, and this is what I think is a undervalued part of Chase, that is a overhated part of Chase also. He's not going to do the most and destroy the car or do anything dumb trying to get a couple extra spots out of a day where you don't. Like, he's going to settle and finish where he finishes and be consistent. He's not going to go out there and, you know what I'm saying? Like, Larson's one that, like, at Atlanta, for instance, he spins in an instance that's not his own. He drives back to the front. And then he just gets super duper over aggressive and then ends up in a wreck all over again, when it's like, I mean, yeah, I get it. You want to win, but like at a certain point,
you got to take what you can
have the shot to win there.
Yeah.
Just take the points and move on.
Mm-hmm.
And like Chase will do that. Are there different ways to look at it where some people are going to listen to me say that and be like, yeah, but I would rather my driver go for it. And if he wrecks, he wrecks. I mean, yeah, but like if I'm a team owner,
yeah,
I would prefer to take the points and move on.
Yeah. Paint schemes this week. Keep an eye on our TikTok. We're recording a day early this week because England plays Argentina tomorrow, and I just watched France get beat by Spain on my iPad. Didn't expect that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 2-0.
Okay.
Insane.
So
Spain's in the final, and it's going to be either England or Argentina.
Okay. I'll just go ahead and say England's going to win it all now.
I really hope so.
Again, I know nothing about most of this.
Yeah.
I know that Harry Gant plays for
Harry
England.
Kane. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Harry Kane. Yeah.
We
Remember when you said
yeah,
that?
I do
Yeah.
remember. Hey, shut up. Anyways, yeah, I'm heading to a brewery with some England natives to watch tomorrow. And yeah, no, I mean, I really like Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham.
I like the. I'm not gonna keep piling on.
Yeah. Either way, yeah. So we'll have a new race winner next week. Obviously, we have those every week, but we'll also have a World Cup winner next week because the final is on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. I have a pretty good idea of who my paint scheme favorite is gonna be.
I do too, but let's
Yeah,
not.
no, 100%. Like,
We'll talk afterwards because I think I know, and I'm pretty sure that's
probably
gonna
have
be
the same one. Yeah.
Anything else for this week? Are we good? Ready to wrap it up?
I'll ask something. We normally don't really get much feedback on asking stuff.
Yeah.
But as I've mentioned, I'm going to the IndyCar race Sunday, and I've thought about making some content. However, this is like strictly NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
Would anybody be interested in content in the form of like NASCAR fan goes like tries Indy? Like,
I think that'd be cool.
Like, is that something? And then two, I don't know. Maybe that's something that somebody would watch and be like, "Oh, okay, cool. I've been to NASCAR races, so I
maybe I'll go to an IndyCar
like
race."
maybe me being able to have comparisons. Yeah, we'll talk more about that after the pod too, because I'll have a couple minutes before I need to go meet Lily for dinner.
Cool. Well, guys, this has been the Checker Chat. I'm Justin.
And I'm Blake.
You guys can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and you can't forget about it. Just like I didn't forget about my Limes and my Miller Lite. And guys who drink Miller Lite know how to fight.
Yeah.
Audible. You can't forget about it. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.